Yo, what's good? It's Bear in the building. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Kueen Talk. If you are new here, welcome. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button, leave a comment. Let us know what you think of this episode. Today, we got a very special guest in the building based out of California. Again, we got another Californian. Got Ajah Yancey, a 37-year-old storyteller and student of film at Long Beach City College. As the compassionate communications and advocacy lead with the Feminist Uprising. Nether Californian, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I got to listen to a couple episodes, and I was like, "Oh, this is cute." Okay.
Okay, good. I love to hear that feedback. I love it. What resonated? Curious, when you're watching or listening to the episodes, what resonated with you, when you listened or watched?
So, I have to talk about how I even found your podcast because you're based in Kansas, right?
Okay.
So, my friend went to an event. It was the big gay something that you were there at.
ICTV Gay Market.
Yes, and basically talked me up and was like, "You should have her on the show." And you were like, "Yeah, have her apply." And I was like, "All right." I've never done a podcast before, so
really, welcome.
Yeah. So shout out to Shelly. Thanks, Shelly.
Yes, I actually do remember a person coming by and be like, "Oh, yeah, my friend would love this," and
that was probably her.
Yeah, that's awesome. See, that's when I do that. I got to remind myself why I'm out here in these streets, vendoring, getting out there, being seen and visible. That is why. So I appreciate that. Shout out to Shelly.
Yay! So, but to answer your question, it just I say I love stories. Stories are my thing, whether I'm writing, whether I'm listening to stories, whether I'm telling my own story, whether I'm using music videos to tell a story. It's just that's the core of life for me, and so I really like the vibe and the format of it, just literally just having a conversation and getting to know people and hearing where they've come from and how they got through it, or how things changed. Because I mean, I've already come out 4 or 5 times at this point. I stopped at 20. Well, no, I didn't, because I just came out as non-binary. So it don't stop. When they say you never stop coming out, you never stop coming out.
Yeah. I think, so I'm trying, I've had a few guests on here talking about the word coming out, and I'm trying to stop saying that term. I'm really trying, but I say it too. It's natural, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's straight people don't have to come out, right? They just are who they
just are.
And so it's instead of saying coming out so many times, it's just you're evolving as a person. You're naturally, you grow.
My next evolution. Okay.
Yeah. It's just we constantly are changing, whether you're straight or or gay. It doesn't matter. What you it's just you're constantly changing. I think queer people, we just accept it more. I feel we're more free with our identity. It's
mm-hmm.
we were told to be this one way, but it's bro, did you know you didn't have to do this?
Yeah. That was literally my whole gender thing, because that was I was I mean, I don't like wearing dresses, and I never really have, but that doesn't mean I'm trans, and I get that, but I remember I was sending my friend just memes of people, reels that I follow, of people I follow, and a good number of them happen to be trans, and they were you're sending me an awful lot of trans memes. Are you sure you're not thinking about gender a little bit? And I was like, no. And it got real high pitched, so it wasn't really. No. So, but yeah, no, it's literally just another evolution, because I thought I was done. I was okay, I came out at 13 as bisexual. At 15, I told my mom. And then when I was 17, I came out as a lesbian. And then when I was 19, I came out as bisexual again. But I wasn't really coming out even, really. I was just kind of evolving, like you said. And then 20, Tumblr gave me pansexual, and I was like, that's it.
Okay. You say Tumblr?
Uh-huh.
That's funny. So you said at 13, though, was when you said that you told your parents, your mom.
Oh no, my mom at 15. Yeah. At 13, I was like, oh, that's what this is. Yeah.
Okay. And what was that conversation like?
Not great. Not the best, no. So, I had already like come to terms with it. I already like, my gay awakening was probably Ginger Spice when I was like 8.
Okay.
So like it wasn't a thing for me. But I told my mom at 15 after a couple years of knowing. And the first question she asked me was, "Who did this to you?" Yeah. The face that you make is the face everybody, they're like, "Yo, really?" Yeah. And we had talked about it like later on, in my life when I was older. And she was like, I just didn't know. Like, I didn't know how to respond. I thought that you were just, doing it to be cool. Like, and I know that you always want to be accepted. I'm like, okay, first of all, let's chill on that.
Yeah.
Cause I'm not that desperate.
Right. Yeah.
But it was really strange, or not really strange, but it was just like, kind of funny because I always, when I, was thinking about coming out, or I guess telling people I was evolving the first time, um, I was worried more about my dad's reaction and my mom's reaction, and my mom's reaction was not great. And then I remember telling my dad I was a lesbian when I was like 17, 18, I think. And he was just like, okay. And I was like, I did all that worrying. You can't give me like even one like I'm disappointed in you, or like am I gonna have grand? He was just like, no, yeah, okay. And he's
That's
always been that way through all of my.
that's good though. Like
Hmm.
that's how it should be. Okay. Like, and
Right, very
what's
that, and
next?
then
What's
and
next?
then my stepmom is very very much an ally. Like, she actually got me there's a whole pride set of these that she got me, all of them except one, because the plain one wasn't gay enough for her. So so I was just like, I could put gay, I got gay stickers. I could put gay stickers on it. It's fine. Like,
Don't you just love
but
that from family? Like you tell them that you're
yes,
queer, and then like all the rainbow stuff starts coming.
they go all in.
I had to tell my mom, I'm like, Mom, I'm really not into rainbow like that. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, I was like, Mom, I
Did it
really
break your heart?
appreciate it. It didn't break her heart, but she was just like, I was just trying to be supportive. And I was like, I know. I was like, I get it. Like, I appreciate that so much, Mom. Like, I really do. But I was like, you don't have to do that part. Like, you just loving me and just being there for me and my partner and like who I'm with. Like,
Right. Right.
that,
That's all I need.
aw.
I don't need you to do that. She's already talking about, when, because we're going to Long Beach Pride next year. She's already talking about getting the Pride like eye jewels. And I'm just
Hey,
like,
I don't blame that. It's pride. So you go all
yeah,
out, you
and
know?
I can't even be mad. I wear a cape to Pride. Like, I wear a pansexual flag cape. Like, I can't complain about being extra. I get it.
Yeah, I like during that time is like okay, we can be a little
Right.
extra during that time. During that time,
Right.
it's all good.
Right.
You mentioned pansexual. Like when did that come like in your journey?
So, when I was about 19, because when I was 18, I actually lived in Kansas. Um,
Really?
I lived in Wichita. I actually lived with Shelly. I lived in Wichita, and then I lived in Newton, Kansas, and I was engaged to a woman who is the age that I am now, which is strange. So I was 18
Wow!
and she was 37.
Wow!
Um, yeah.
Right?
I got stories.
You're legal. I will say it was
Hmm.
legal. You know, um,
But
but yeah, that's
questionable.
yeah, definitely.
So, but while I was with her, I identified as lesbian, and she would say things like, "Oh, if I ever met a bisexual woman, I would run, not walk." And like, I'd be like, "Okay, that's weird, but all right, sure." But I'm 18. I'm living with someone. I've never lived with anyone before, like not in like a romantic situation. So it's like all of the I'm 1,500 miles away. I almost said 1,500 years. 1,500 miles away from where I grew up. I grew up born and raised in Long Beach. Um, but I was already having these thoughts of, I don't know if I'm actually like only want to date women. Like, I'm still attracted to men, but like my whole thing was, I just really don't care. Like, I can't imagine like meeting someone and like you have everything in common, like I would say your crazy matches. Um Like, just everything is perfect, and so your friends are like, "Oh, you're gonna, ask him out?" I can't because they're the wrong gender. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, and
Hmm.
I know that that's a thing for people. Straight people exist, gay people exist, like, where you just but I'm like that. I always say I'm a pansexual and a Gemini moon, like, I've never made a decision in my life.
Okay.
I also have ADHD, so that doesn't help. Um, but so I was on Tumblr and, just doing what queer people do on Tumblr, just hanging out. And I don't even know what the post was or anything. I don't remember, but I just remember the word. And so I looked it up and it was like pansexual, omnisexual, um, polysexual, and it was like I think it was probably like, naming all different ones. And as soon as I read the definition of pansexual, I was like, duh, okay, that's it. And it's like I was even willing to deal with people going, "Oh, pansexual, isn't that just bisexual? But like you want to be special or or what is that? Or that's not the thing, or you guys are always adding letters." Like I was willing to put up with that to feel secure in my identity.
Yeah. And I don't even think it's like we're always adding letters. I think it's just it's we're still learning, constantly learning. Like it's
Right.
new to us, but it's always been there.
Right.
Like and the power of the internet, right? Like you learned this from Tumblr, which I was never on Tumblr. I never even like got the concept. I wasn't in that wave. But it's just like the internet can just like connect us in so many different ways and just it's a constant learning machine. Like you can find yourself in representations in places you never would have thought.
Right.
So
Right,
uh,
right. And I mean, I wasn't even on it for that. I initially started that Tumblr for roller derby. Like that was my roller derby Tumblr when I was, starting to practice and getting to know what roller derby was and all of that. And yeah, so like I wasn't, and I was like, I started following all these different queer accounts and whatever, and different Black accounts and all sorts of stuff. So it just came up, and I was just like, oh. And then there's like, they always have like the hearts not parts, and I was like, kind of cheesy, but okay. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. I'll let you have that.
yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that, but I get it though. Hearts not parts. I
Yeah,
get
it's
it.
like the little
I,
graphics and stuff people do on like their signatures. It would be like hearts not parts, and I'm just like, oh,
uh,
it's very that.
yeah, but it's so dope the way that people are getting connected from the internet.
Hmm.
It's an awesome thing to see, and that's what Queen Talk is
Yeah,
doing, and that's what I'm trying to do is like just build that
yeah.
community, get that representation. And you mentioned that you were born and raised in California, so like, did you see a lot
Hmm.
of representation of queer people in general growing up?
Like I actually did. I just don't think that I realized it all the time at the time.
Hmm.
Like, my great aunt had a friend that was very clearly gay, but I didn't really think about it. It wasn't like made like a thing, like, oh, he's different or the people like to say he got sugar in his tank. Like, it wasn't
Yeah.
any of that. It wasn't none of that.
Yeah.
Which is so wild to me. I'm just like, where do y'all get this? Mm-mm.
He a little fruity, had sugar
Right?
in the tank.
He just a little sweet. It's okay. Like, and I'm like, it is okay, but it's not when you say it like that. It makes me feel like it's not okay. That makes it work. But anyway, and then with my dad's side, my grandmother on my dad's side, she had movies like Tu Wong Fu. I think she had The Birdcage. I remember watching The Birdcage with my mom. But like in my like life, I mean, I probably did, and it was just kind of like a normal thing,
Mhm.
especially living in Southern California, like. My mom said the building where I live now, like back in the like 90s, I think. My mom has a weird like relationship with queer identity and queer stuff. So like she was like, it used to be like a homosexual bar. Like she does this thing where she'll whisper the word, and I'm like, that makes. She's like, I don't want to be offensive. I'm like, that makes it offensive. Don't do that. I'm just like, oh, it's so bad.
Still has to like be quiet about it. Oh
Right,
my
just like
gosh,
it's
gosh.
like it's a gay bar.
Yeah.
Like a what?
Yeah. Like, and I think that like just speaks on to like her generation too. Is because like
Very
back
much so.
it wasn't like as loud as it is now. Like I think
Mhm.
that's why there's so much pushback now. It's like and I feel like they're trying to
Yeah.
silence us. Like, oh, it was okay when you guys were
Yeah.
silent,
Right.
but
They're
now
like,
that
no,
y'all
no,
are,
you doing a lot. No, y'all had your little
yeah,
parades. Now y'all want more rights. We not
yeah,
flag on the play. We don't want that.
right. So I just think it speaks to like her generation of just like, oh no, like
Yeah. And I mean,
don't.
my mom, uh, she was 21 when she had me. So like, she's not like, I don't think she's super old, but like,
Mhm.
I'm like, you got big boomer energy though. Just like over certain, my dad too, with certain things. Like,
Yeah.
you're just giving, but, and I think they're like Gen X, but I'm like, you're giving like older Gen X. But I'm like, it's giving boomer, it's giving greatest generation. I don't like it.
You mentioned like you were born and raised in Cali, but then you migrated to Kansas. Like, what brought you to Wichita, Kansas, and Newton, Kansas?
So well, me and Shelly graduated. Um, and well, Shelly graduated. I got my GED, and I had had a whole bunch of like trauma happen in Long Beach, like within that past year, that I was like, I need to literally be anywhere else because I had lived in Sacramento a couple times in like grade school, so like sixth grade and then like 11th grade. But I was like, I need to be out of California. Like that's like it's I need to process some stuff. So Shelly had gone because that's where she's from. She had gone back to Kansas and was like, "Well, come, stay with my family, and you can, get a job." So I worked at Sonic. That was my first ever job. I didn't have to be on skates. Which I at first I was like, thank God, but I started derby later, so that probably would have helped. But it was winter, so but yeah, that's how I ended up out there, and I was out there for 13 months.
How was that shocking cultural shock for
So
you?
first of all, that was the first time I saw snow in my life
Oh God!
at 18 years old because I moved in
Oh
November.
gosh!
I had
Wow!
never
Yeah!
seen snow in my life.
Wow! Yeah!
Just
That's
yeah,
that is
yeah.
because I guess, yeah, California doesn't get seasons. It's just like it gets a little
We it maybe
chilly,
it maybe
but
rains like real hard for like a month overall.
yeah,
But
but you don't get the
yeah, no, we don't.
snow, the
No,
flowers
you
blooming, all like
And I mean, we have like Big Bear, so like, but I didn't go to Big Bear until after I had already been to Kansas. So had I gone
mhm.
to like Big Bear as an adult and I never went to Kansas, I probably would have been the first time I saw snow. But yeah, saw snow for the first time. Newton was a real big shock because I was going from, like a Starbucks at least on, every neighborhood at least to I was like, there's no Starbucks, there's no Best Buy. I was like, I
Mhm.
don't think there's a Walmart. There wasn't at the time. I don't know if there is now.
There
But y'all
is.
got
There's one Walmart.
two Sonics. But y'all got two Sonics, two of them on either side of town.
Hey, yeah.
I, of course, the one that I got hired at was not the one that I lived next to on my side of town, so I had to bike across town to go to work.
I lived in California for a short year, and I think like there was no Sonic around for like it was like a 2 hour drive to where I was living because I was craving it one day. I was wondering if there's a Sonic. I was like, dang, Sonic is a rare thing.
The
Okay.
closest one to me is in Anaheim, which I mean by car is like for like maybe 20 minutes. Everything
Okay.
is always like it's like 15, 20 minutes.
Not
But I don't
Newton.
drive,
Not
right?
Newton. You
And
can
so I
ride your
was
bike.
actually I was visiting Shelly last year, and I would every so often when I would get Uber Eats, I would get Sonic, and I'm like, let me have this because once I go home, I'm not ordering from Anaheim. I'm not doing it. I'm not
Yeah.
having food from Orange County to come to LA. This is the only time I'm going to be here for like a month and a half. I
Hey,
was like,
shout out to
damn.
Sonic. You need to sponsor this episode, Sonic, because Sonic be hitting. You didn't know. It
I had
is
some wild
hit.
orders. Like it was, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then so it was short. You said 13 months and you were back. So
Hmm.
you're like,
Yeah,
nah.
no, that the engagement fell apart and my mental health fell apart and I was like, I need to go back home.
Yeah.
And then that got worse before it got better. And then it got better and then it got worse. And it just, ebb and flow of life. But overall, after after Kansas, it was mostly stable for a while.
That's good. In your bio, you said you say you're the regional manager of the alphabet. Um,
Of the Alphabet Club, yeah.
yeah. Uh, and I just like curious, like you said, your mental health has been up and down, up and down. Like, how
hmm
have you navigated through that? Like, and to get to where you are right now in this place.
hmm I mean, first of all, I didn't even think I'd get this old. Like, I don't want to. So trigger warning for like suicide and depression and all those things. My first suicide attempt was when I was 8. And I knew that something was wrong, that that's not normal. I had a lot of stuff. Um, I lost my grandmother when I was 12, and she was like my best friend. Like that my dad's mom, I called her by her first name because she was like, I'm too young to be grandma, so you're gonna call me Diane. Like it was very that. Um, but I knew that it wasn't normal. But my mom specifically was like, oh, it's an attention thing. I don't know why she thought I just did things for attention. Like I'm like I don't like attention.
Mhm.
At that age, I was like trying not to be seen. I wasn't even trying to be here. But she wouldn't let me go to therapy. She didn't want me to take medication. So actually, as soon as I turned 18 and I moved to Kansas, is actually when I had my first therapist. Um,
Wow.
and my first therapist was not a great one. um, Fully broke like a lot of HIPAA things. But my next one was better. Oh yeah, I had my first hospitalization at 13. Like my first psych session, and I was having them. It was like 13, 15, 17, and then once I turned 18, it was like we were we were off. Because I mean, there were times where I was like back in and out after every like 2 weeks or like every month. I was just in and out and in and out. I stopped working. I was on SSI. I've been on SSI. Um, but honestly, it was honestly just on being on SSI because I had Medi-Cal, which I guess would be
Medicaid.
Medicaid. Yeah. I was so I get that through my SSI. So it was like if I didn't have that and I wasn't able to get my medication, I wasn't able to have my therapy sessions. I was in an occupation like I'm in a full service partnership now program, which is just really intense, more like, case management, therapy, psych, all of that. Um I've been in TAY programs, transitional age youth programs, which is like 16 to 26 ish. It varies on the program, but same thing, FSP for younger people. Um, and like if I hadn't had access to any of that, I definitely would be dead. I don't know how. Um, 'Cause, I was in a shelter for a little bit. Like it's just been a lot, but like even in the shelter, I had access to mental health services through Children's Hospital Los Angeles, I think. And I was like
Wow.
19, 20 or that at that point. So it's honestly just having the resources, having the just being able to do it because I wanted it,
Yeah.
and I wasn't allowed to have it. So as soon as I could do it, I was like, oh, we're getting all the therapy. I'm like, we're not taking all the meds because some of the meds sucked.
Eh,
And trying to figure that out. But yeah, that's the main thing. Honestly, like therapy, I've been in therapy for almost 20 years now, and I need it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here with us today, Aja. And
Thank
thank you for
you.
sharing with that. I know, like, it's going through that. I can only imagine just like how difficult that could have been, especially with like the lack of support, like you're screaming for help and just
Yes.
like all that time, and like even you're going through in and out of care at such a young age.
hmm
We get this stereo type of just like living in a black household and with
Yep.
mental health. Did your mom just like not trust the drugs? Did she not trust the system? Have you had that
All of
conversation with
that.
her? Yeah.
All of that. It was literally. It was. I don't want the medicine. I don't want the drug to change you who you are. Um. Uh. It's a whole again. I think about being in a black household. Like you don't tell people your business. So like it was that too. Yeah, it was just a lot of just a lot of distrust even now. I mean the last time I spoke to her, she was just and like conspiracy TikTok, and I'm just like, but like, where does it stop?
Yeah.
Like where you have to have like, I love a good conspiracy theory, but like at some point you have to have that line, that hard line of the truth, and I don't think she had that. But yeah, it was just distrust of something she didn't know, because then she ended up having therapy and being on medication, and she was like, "Oh, this is actually really helpful." And I'm like, "Yes, it is, isn't it?
Oh, so,
Would
so
have
your
been
mom
great to
needed that as
have."
well.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like, "Yeah, that would have been really great to have, wouldn't it?"
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, shout out to the resources too. Just like people need to know, like there are resources out there
Mhm.
for them. And if you're listening to this podcast, if you're watching this podcast right now, if you're searching for those resources, ask ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is a good bot assistant for us all right now.
I've never used it for that.
Use it while it's
AI
free.
scares me, so I've never like
Yeah,
it
it
freaks me
scares a
out.
lot of people. It does, but it's like a Google times 1,000. Like I
Oh,
feel like um, people need to start using it to just
I've been
like
having that conversation with people, especially people like my friend that works in one of the industries that uses AI a lot, and she talked about how she thinks that this is like a specific what is it called, like a push, like a deliberate push to make people afraid of AI, because the military and everything has already done so much with it. And they don't, they're kind of creating this argument about AI so that people don't really get to use, stay away from it. But then it's the environmental thing. It's a whole thing. Um,
yeah, no, the environmental thing. I recently heard like what the use of AI, like the damages it does to like the environment. Like
that's my main thing. 'Cause I'm like, I love learning. I love like all of that, but I'm like,
yeah,
it's so dangerous. Yeah. So having the resources to get better, to talk to someone, to even like hotlines, if I was like between therapists or between programs, just those things. 'Cause it's like we tend to think of, like, with depression especially, like, oh God, I have to do this every day for the rest of my life. And that sounds so exhausting. And it's like, when they really tell you to like break things down to chunks, like when you do like your long-term goals, or you have
yep,
to do life sometimes that way. Like I'm like,
yeah,
okay, I can't think about making it to Friday. I'm gonna make it through to this day, or I'm gonna
yeah,
make it through the next 20 minutes, or like I'm gonna make it through this episode of Kimmy Schmidt. That is my goal. Like,
yeah,
it's not always, but having those short term, like, the hotlines and things like that, which those are being taken away. And that's a major reason why I'm just doing this event for the Feminist Uprising coming up in October. So I don't know if you want me to talk about
yes, yes, yes. We'll get into it for sure. Plug yourself. Plug
that.
yourself. Let the people
Okay.
know.
All right, all right. So, like you were saying from my bio, I am the Compassionate Communications and Advocacy Lead for the Feminist Uprising, which is an intersectional feminist group based here in Long Beach. We just do a lot of work around like different types of human rights, disability justice, LGBTQ rights, human rights, civil rights, racial justice, all just the everything, intersectional feminism. And I am coordinating an event that's taking place October 11th here in Long Beach. Well, I'm in Carson right now, but in Long Beach. And it's a feminist cafe, and the theme is living with disabilities in the enablest world. And so there's going to be different activities. We're going to have a panel. It's divided into three sections: so past, present, future. So past is where we've been, present, where we're at, and then where we're going for the future. And so for each section, we have different things. So we have like the history of like disability justice, and an overview of different types of illnesses, whether they're mental illness, physical, chronic, invisible, all of those things. We have a panel that we're going to do with people that have different, either multiple illnesses, different illnesses, all sorts of things like that. Resources, handouts. Hoping to do a vendor village. That's going to depend on the venue, but yeah, that's taking place now. So I'm really excited for that.
And they can find more information on that at
Yes. So the Feminist Uprising's Instagram is at the Feminist Uprising, and then the website also is thefeministuprising.com. We're actually starting to fundraise because every year Long Beach has this program called LB Gives. And it's where all the nonprofits that are in Long Beach, they do like a fundraising month. And so September 18th is like the big fundraising day, but it starts on the 11th and goes, I think, until either the 11th or the 18th of October, I think, or something like that. At the Feminist Uprising on Instagram, there's all that information.
Awesome. I appreciate you giving that information. I think
Thank
it's like
you.
awesome that like you're using like what you went through to like help others along the way. Like I think like it's good when we use like our history and like what we've come through for like the greater good. For me, like I like this podcast came because like a representation and identity. Like I didn't have that for me. So it's like I have to create that. For you, you have to create that. You have to start something and like continue it to grow because people aren't looking out for you unless you're a part of the community. Like it's not like people that are not a part of the community aren't the ones like actually out here pushing it and
Right.
trying to promote it, building it, unless it benefits them in some way. Um,
Right.
and then they're gonna do it.
Right.
So I think
That's
it's
very,
awesome.
yeah, that's very much still a thing.
Yes, so much so. And I like the work that at the Feminist Uprising that they do. How long has that been? Organization, has it been there for a while?
So we just celebrated our second birthday.
Okay,
Very, yeah, very new.
yeah, that's
Um,
awesome.
it was it was co-founded by my friends Ashley Brady and Jen Cohen. And it's grown, it's especially in the past year because gestures vaguely at everything. Um, but it's grown and we've done so many like really cool events. We have a garden that we're doing, a resistance garden, different things to help like sustainability outside of the federal and state government. Like we don't know what's going to happen with this
Right.
cafe. Like I was going to focus like on services you can get like through the government, but I'm like I don't know what's going to happen between now and October. I don't know what's going to happen between now and the end of the month, let alone you
Yeah.
know for the foreseeable future. So I decided to make it more community based and around organizations that local organizations that support and offer services to the disabled community. um,
Which is
but
great.
yeah,
It's great.
ah, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. But yeah, we've done all sorts. We did a sit-in for because we want space that's out of Long Beach. We did a sit-in at City Hall. We're doing the garden. We're working on a mutual aid like market where people can trade like skills or like things that they know and like there's no money exchange. It's like a mutual aid kind of thing. We're working on a whole bunch of different cool stuff, and I love like serving community and helping and just being
Yeah.
helpful. That's the only
Yes.
reason I'll work customer service. I hate retail. I hate food service. I love talking to people. Like I don't
Yeah.
think people realize it's backbreaking work. Like it really, and I'm disabled, so like I can't do it anymore. But I love talking to people, hearing their stories, hearing just about their day. That's a story in itself. It's just their
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, for sure. Not just I'm okay. Um,
Right. Right.
when and you are in film school too right now. So
Mhm.
so what's that like what's
So you're like, give me the tea. Oh my gosh.
yeah. I know like being in filming school in LA, I feel like that's a flex, low key. Like
Oh yeah, no. So I'm in community college. I was in film school, and my film school turned out to be a scam. So I got all my loans discharged.
bro,
They
this is
sent me
like
a letter
this
like,
I feel like this is the second person that said this on the Queen Talk that they got scammed
did
at a
they go to the Art
university.
Institute?
I feel like it was.
Because
I'll have to like
I've
play
met a
that
couple of other
back.
people.
I'll
Yeah.
have to play that back, like remember which but yeah, someone else got scammed
Yeah, because
too.
they would talk about how like, oh, if you go to our school, like you'll have more connections or whatever, and it was like, yeah, that's false advertising. So, but I didn't even finish. So like, I didn't finish the semester. I was because of my undiagnosed health stuff. I was taking care of my grandfather, who had dementia and Parkinson's syndrome, and I couldn't do it. So I haven't been to school in 10 years. Um, the last time I've tried like 5 or 6 times. This is the longest I've ever gone to school consistently. Winter, spring, and now fall. Um, but I don't want to make movies. Like I'm like the way my ADHD is set up, it's not gonna work.
Or
I
maybe
can't
that
do 90 minutes of one subject. Absolutely not.
it doesn't have
Uh,
to be 90 minutes. You can create
I
a
know, but it just
you can create short
uh,
films.
I mean, but I want to do music videos. So my thing is,
Oh, that's even shorter.
um, right. That's 3 to 5 minutes is where I'm at. Maybe
Yeah.
10 minutes if I'm feeling like ambitious. But like I music. So I always say my three special interests in order are music, Anne Hathaway, and The Sims. So with music, and the music only is above Anne Hathaway because music came first. I've loved Anne Hathaway since I was 12. So,
Okay.
um, but so I every song is a story to me, and like it's always been that way. Like I just get so lost in music, even instrumentals. And my other thing is telling people stories, but also um, sorry, my brain is like, but also supporting and promoting indie artists. So this shirt actually is from an artist I listen to named Young Delirious. And I don't know if I can turn this, but on the back, there's like a whole thing. And I'm pretty sure you can't read it, but it's like a whole thing. So, but he is an artist I met at a show I went to in Long Beach. And I just love promoting smaller artists.
That's cool though. I think it's really dope. I think the film, like if you get into film now, I feel like that's like
Mhm.
where it's going. Everyone's recording or doing videos or whatnot. And music
Right.
videos, like I don't know if music videos are still like what they once were. Like no one's sitting there watching
They're
106 in
not.
Park anymore after
They're
school
not.
watching the
They're
music
not.
videos.
They're called visuals now, I just found out. And I was like, all right, let's relax.
Yeah.
Let's
And it's
visuals,
like
visualizers, like, and I'm just like, but it's like the people are still out there. Like people always say, like, oh, people's attention spans are so short. Um, they're not gonna listen to a whole song or whatever. But at the same time, you have YouTube Shorts. You have these people doing like 2 3 hour video essays, and people are just
watching
eating that
it,
up. Like,
watching
yeah.
it.
So
And
like,
now,
there's
and
a
yeah,
market for everything.
there is a market for everything. And now shorts aren't shorts. They're like 3 minutes, 7 minutes long.
They
Like,
keep getting longer.
yeah. So it's like they want people to just like keep watching. And I think like music videos, like when you're at the club in LA, like in California, they play the
Yeah,
music videos
they
while
do.
every song. And I'm like, that's dope
They do.
that they
Because
do
some
that.
people are literally just sitting having their drinking, like me, having my water or my cranberry juice, watching the music videos. Like,
And
I remember that Lady Gaga video. I remember because I go to a lot of gay bars. I remember that Beyonce video.
yeah, but like here in Kansas, they don't do that. They do not do that.
Really?
They are not playing the music videos when they're doing that. Which it was like I was shocked when I seen that. Every bar that I went to in Cali did that. They played the music with that, and I was like, I wonder if that's like it has to be a thing. Like, is that like the copyright version of like if you play my song, you have to play the music video in LA? Like,
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean that tracks for Southern California. Like, I want my money for everything. Like, or I will
yeah.
sue you for anything.
Yeah, but I'm like, yeah, that's not a thing down here to where like you go to bars and like you're seeing the music video plays. And I think that's dope. I think like what you mentioned, it is like a good idea for people to sit there and watch the music videos because I haven't seen like the throwback music videos in a long time until I went into the bar. I'm just like,
Yeah.
man, we thought that was a hit like that. We thought
It's like,
that
oh, you thought you
outfit.
ate. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was actually showing, because I have an IHSS worker, and she is much younger than me. So I'm 37, she's
Can you
23.
explain the acronym, please?
Yes. So IHSS, I almost said acronym. IHSS is in-home support services. And so for people, I think it's national, um, but it's for people that are disabled, and don't, it's so that they can live independently, but they need help with things.
Hmm.
So for me, like, sometimes my body will just be like, hey, we're not doing anything today. And I'm just like, all right, cool. So she helps me with like cleaning and things. She helps me with like appointments, remembering to do things, remembering to take a medication, my blood pressure, my blood sugar, all of that stuff. So she's
Got it.
someone that just helps me a few times a week. And, you have to, it's paid for. She gets paid through Medi-Cal.
Awesome.
So yeah, so that's what an IHSS worker is. So she was at my house one day, and we think we were going through laundry or something, and I was showing her Backstreet Boys and NSYNC videos, and she jaw was just she's like, oh my god. I showed her. I can't remember which. I want to say it's "Quit Playing Games with My Heart," where they're in the rain, the Backstreet Boys, and the shirts are. Oh, I didn't even get into like any other like New Kids on the Block. I didn't get into New Edition. She would have lost it. But I
Right.
was like, you ask any millennial woman, femme, whoever, any millennial, they have an opinion on Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, even if they didn't really care. Like, well, I like this one more than the other.
Hmm.
But I was Team NSYNC. I loved both.
Same. And I was going to say,
See?
Fem and a stud because I had NSYNC stickers all on my, what is it, my mongoose bike. I had stickers all on it. I had the pegs in the back, riding.
Yeah.
That's how we was getting down. Yeah, I was team NSYNC all the
I
way.
all day long. Like, and I'm like, I love, but see, my issue was I like the oldest guys in either group.
Okay.
So I liked Kevin, who was cute,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked
Got
Chris, who looked crazy. He had the braid, the white braid, and I showed her that too, and she was just like, "What is going on?" And I was like,
Yeah.
I saw that, and I was just like, "That's my man. I'm gonna stick by him."
And you know what's crazy is like all like some of the trends that were like back then are like it just like resurfaces, right? Like we're gonna see. I don't know when it's gonna be, but like those hairstyles and like that era of
Oh,
clothing
they're
are gonna
coming
come
back.
back. They're gonna come
They're
back.
coming
They're
back.
already wearing like those jeans, like those flare jeans. Like it's. I'm like okay. It like they say. It
They're coming.
always.
The Gen Z and Gen Alpha have discovered skirts, so that's coming back. Overalls are coming back. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
and
And
I'm just
LA's
like, they're like,
fashion.
yeah. What freaks me out is that the at the real quick, um, at like schools for like homecoming week, they're having 2000s day where they dress like they're from back in the day in the two.
We've come to that generation.
We're there now. That's where we're at. They're
We're
like dressing in like the
there.
oversized like jerseys and the
Wow.
juicy tracksuits, and I'm
Jeez.
like, where did you even find that? Anyway, you were saying
Right.
about LA fashion.
It's just like everyone still
I
tells
can't
a
even keep
story.
track.
Yeah.
I can't, but it's honestly it's and I always cause I love complimenting people, like genuinely complimenting people, not like a Regina George compliment, but like an actual like. But people always say like, oh, I want to compliment someone, but I don't want to make them uncomfortable. But it's like, well, you compliment on something that they changed themselves. You don't compliment on their body parts or like, oh, you have a cute nose or something that's just like. But if it's like a tattoo or like clothing or like hair is my favorite. I saw one chick, she had like this like green and like purple and it was like shaved on the sides. She had it pulled back. And I was like, your hair, I was on the bus. I was like, your hair is amazing. And like when you give someone a genuine compliment, like just watch their face.
Yeah.
Like it just from the inside out. And that is, I mean, it's selfish of me because I'm like, I just love that feeling. I love seeing that expression on people. Like
Right.
just
Yeah.
like thank you. Like I've complimented one girl's backpack. She's like, I got it at Ross, and it was like, and then we did I got it at Ross. Like it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like and just to have those moments, like it's so important. And that's important for my mental health too.
Right. Yeah. I think we could just go by without just like, we just stick to ourselves. And me and my partner, we were in line one time. You mentioned Ross, and I thought of like the encounter that we had. The lady was like listening to our conversation and just like joined in. And at first I was like, why are you being nosy? But then like we just started talking. I was like, we don't like that would have never happened. Like I'm not talking to you in line,
Yep.
like, 6 feet away still, but
Right.
but it was just like we could do that a lot more. It's just like conversating with one another, just whether it's just conversating, giving a compliment to start the conversation, just interacting more than
Uh-huh.
what we really do. I think we get in the
I
line
make
and
it a
now we're
point
just
to
on our
do that.
phones.
Right. I make it a point to do that. Like I don't do it with everybody. 'Cause sometimes you just want to, get in and get out. Like I'm not trying to have a conversation. I need to get pads and I need to leave. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I try to like have those conversations because like, I mean, like, I'm single. I don't have any kids, majority of the time I'm by myself if I'm not like, you know, actively doing something. So like I have to sometimes make those moments. My friends might be busy, my dad might be sleeping, like I can't, so I've noticed I've always had to not always, but I have to make those moments sometimes. Just like get that like a little dopamine hit, like get me like
Yeah.
if I'm at a store or something and I have like a little conversation about like, oh, ain't these candy bars good? Like, and then we have a whole little thing and then I go on my way and they go on their way, but we're both like, huh, that was a nice little, we have like little, and it's not just for me.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I put effort into like trying to make those moments, not just for myself, but for other people.
No, for sure. Yeah, we got to get out there and get social a little bit. I can be a homebody myself, low key.
Yeah.
Games on tonight, NFL. But yeah,
I
so
just hope both teams have fun.
and nobody spits on each other. Yeah, nobody spits
There
on.
is that'd be so great if we could
Yeah,
just not, that'd be so cool.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I think it really is just like a dope feeling to have, like you said, just like those compliments. I love it when I get a compliment.
Right?
Someone at work the other day, they complimented me and they're like, oh, I don't mean to do that. I was like, you ain't gotta say apologize for giving me a compliment. And she's like, well,
Can
some
you
people,
give me one more?
yeah, she was like, some people don't like that. And I was just like, who doesn't like a compliment? Like,
It comes down to what you're complimenting them on. And then some people are just like, oh, I can't compliment a woman anymore. And those people are weird. But it depends on what you compliment people on.
hmm. Yeah, yeah. And I feel like I got to talk about this. You come from like a lot of intersections, and just like being black, queer, disabled, and I'm just like curious, like have you navigated with those intersectionalities, like living your life?
Oh man, sometimes I'm like, how do I do this? Because it can get exhausting. It's like I constantly think about like, okay, like sometimes I'll have like a fidget toy, and I'll be like in Subway, right? And so I'm like, I have my headphones on, I'm having like a fidget toy, and I have to remember like be conscious, like 'cause sometimes like my paranoia, I'll look at a camera, but I know what I look like. So I'm always very cognizant of the fact that like I could someone to just call the police because I look shifty,
Hmm.
when I'm really just like waiting to order a rotisserie chicken sandwich and some cookies, like, and you're already freaked out for what? So I don't honestly realize I didn't realize how exhausting it was until, I would notice I would come home and I would just be like, and it's because the entire time I'm outside, I'm like, okay, you have to remember that you're black. You have to remember, that you're a woman. You have to remember that, you're a little or a lot of bit crazy. Like, so like the certain things that you do that you think people aren't paying attention to, may make you look a certain way.
Hmm.
Um, and so it's just, it's tiring, but like, it's just finding people that understand.
Yeah, definitely finding the representation, people that you can identify with, your allies, whatever that may be. I agree wholeheartedly to that statement. I think it is and so important too because, like you mentioned, just like having to think about everything else when you just like want to step outside. I do that like in an
Right.
instance too of just like when I'm at a store, I like sometimes I'll like not put my hands in my pocket because I'm like, okay, I don't want them to think I'm gonna try to
I do
put
that
anything
with
in my pocket.
right,
Like,
right. It's like
I
you
ain't
can
trying.
see my hands.
Yeah, and it's like I'm tired of fucking doing that. I really am. I'm like, why?
Sometimes I just want to have my hands in my pockets because I'm comfortable.
Yeah, and
Like, damn.
yeah, my partner loves to go to Ulta, and I can feel it when I go to that place. Like that's the one place I can feel it as soon as I walk in the door. I just feel like people are just like watching me. The
Like they're
ladies
just
are
like,
like,
"Can I help you? Can
yeah.
I assist you with anything?"
On the other side, I'm like, I don't even want none from here. I'm here because of her. Like, I don't even talk to me. Like, get
Like,
focus on her. Go do what she has to do. But I just, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And people are gonna be like, "Oh, they're just trying to be friendly. They're just trying to do their job." Like
that's microaggressions. I don't like that.
that, like
It's not. Mm-mm.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think.
I got the you speak so well all the time as a kid,
Oh, and I'm
so
sure. Yeah, I get that same feeling when I go outside. I'm just like trying to make it seem like and it sounds bad, but it make it seem
mhm.
like I'm not the bad one that you think or you see on TV. Like
Right. I'm a
chill,
good one.
yeah, chill the fuck out. Like
Right, right. And so like and I mean it's harder when you're out alone, but like, so like Jen from the Feminist Uprising, is I call her my designated white woman. So like if things need to be de-escalated or like escalated in a way that I can't do, I'm like, that's my dog. And that's what she does.
yeah, yeah, it's good to have those allies around for sure, especially the
She's
ones that'll
definitely
stick
an
up for
ally
you.
for sure. And
Oh,
cause she's very much like typical, like you would look at her and think, oh, okay, Karen. And she's absolutely not. But that she uses it to her advantage.
see, when you use it, you're privileged for good. We like that. We like that when you use it for good, not for bad. Not for bad. Thank you for coming on here, being vulnerable, like sharing your story. I think
Absolutely.
it's gonna resonate to many people. I think with you, how you refer yourself to the regional manager of the Alphabet Club. I think it's just like you have to find humor in things too. Like when you're dealing with things, like humor is like a part of like what gets us
Yeah.
out of that space. And like I thankful that you're here with us today, and you found the resources that you needed to be able to navigate. I think that's really important, and that you sticking with it. Like you said, it might not be day by day, it might be hour by hour, whatever it may be. But I just think it's important for you to like share your story, share your truth with others, because there's other people out there that could be feeling the exact same way. So I just like really thank you for being a
Yeah.
guest here
Thank
on Kueen
you.
Talk. Again, Shelly, thank you for spreading the word
Yeah,
and
Shelly.
getting your friend on this platform. And I think it's unique too. Like you've got the experience of Wichita and Cali, so like you've seen that life, and you've really seen some Kansas
Yeah.
because you were there in Newton,
Yeah.
Kansas. So you've got to see the
Yeah. I've been
cornfields
at
and all that.
almost the whole range of, yeah. I've
Yeah.
also been to Lucas, Kansas, so
Oh, so you got it. You understand like what goes on here, and just like being a
yeah.
black queer woman in this state, what it looks like. So I think getting your take on it and just like living in both spaces, I just like really appreciate you being a guest.
Thank you so
Um,
much. Thank you for having this platform for people. But yeah, I was saying thank you for having this platform. It's so good to come and tell their stories and um and share. It's really cool. Um yeah, thank you. That's such a cool thing, like, because people like want to take their podcast and just like talk about themselves and talk about, what they want to talk about. You're like, I want to give this platform to other queer POC. Like, that's really cool. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's like I thank you. I think thank you for seeing that too, because it's like I literally was like I don't want to just like have another podcast where it's just me talking and telling my own opinions. Like I really want this to be like educational, informational for like other people, and so that they can resonate and see themselves. So I appreciate that. I just like want to ask you one last question. Is like, what would you like to leave the audience with? Any advice that you may have for the audience?
That's such a big like question.
It
At least you
is.
waited until my computer was charging in case I need to think.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would have been like, are you thinking still? Because
I should probably
um,
tell that in the thing. Like, this is going to be one question I think about that because I always ask this. Like, what advice do you want to give to the queer people?
you just like do it at the beginning, so like you can be like, oh yeah, I kind of think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, just like everything that I've experienced, like it's I don't want to say nobody gets out alive because it's such a cliche thing to say, but it's true. Like, I feel like a lot of the things we take so seriously, like, don't matter in 5 years. But I think it's just, I think the thing I want to leave people with is just like, be nice while it's still free. Like, you can give compliments, you can make people laugh. It's still, capitalism has not gotten to kindness yet. Like, you can still be kind. It doesn't cost you anything, but it rewards you with so much. And I don't want to be the next on the generous because as we can see, that went south. But literally, like, be kind is my, just be nice
Yeah.
to people. It makes you feel good, it makes them feel good, and there's no reason in this world to not feel good
Yeah.
if you can help it.
Right. You just had to mention Ellen. Oh my gosh, yo.
I mean,
Oh
you
my.
hear be kind and like, yeah, that's what Ellen
Yeah.
said. And then now I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. No.
so
No.
I'm like
Listen to
obligatory,
Bear.
like we're
Listen to
not doing it.
Bear. Listen to Bear. Family, friends, strangers, love and be nice.
There you
That's
go. There
listen to
you go.
Bear. Listen to
We're not
Bear.
listening.
Okay.
I always say be kind. And so I'm like, oh, she ruined it. Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hate that
No.
for me. So
Yeah, I know. But yes, be nice. It is free. Like, and like we were saying earlier, just like what it does to somebody's day when you are just nice to them. Like it goes a long way for you to just give them a compliment, hold the door open. And if they don't say thank you, say you're welcome.
see, I didn't even do I'm like, you know what? I always, and I want to be that person sometimes. I'm just like, you're welcome. But like, but I'm always like, I'm not going to give you something that I can't give freely. So if I open the
Yeah.
door and you're not in the
Oh,
space
see,
mentally to say
see,
thank you,
Aja. Oh, you just had to
that
do
is
that.
that is not to say I don't have a petty side because I absolutely do. I absolutely do. But
Okay.
it's you got to pick and choose your battles. So
Yeah, no, no, true. I just want to say like this real quick. So one time I was standing in and I opened the door for someone at a Quick Trip, and they did that. They didn't say anything, and I was like, "You're welcome." And then I continued to shop, and then as I'm at the checkout, she was like, because she was walking out, and she came back in the store, and she said, "I was rude to you, and I'm gonna pay for your stuff right now." And I was like, "Okay, I appreciate
wait, is that
that."
for real?
This is a true story.
I'm like, are
True
you trying
story.
to teach me a lesson to be rude to people so they'll
True.
pay for my
No,
groceries?
I wasn't rude. I wasn't the one rude. I just said you're welcome. I probably said
Oh
you're
yeah,
welcome
yeah.
after I had opened the door for them. And she came back
So
in
I
the
need to
store
start doing
afterwards
that more.
and she was like, I was rude to you. And thank you for holding that door for me. I was just in a rush and da da da. Da. And I was just
That's what I'm
like,
saying. Like,
yeah. And I
it's
was like,
not
no. I
always like just to, yeah.
was like, I appreciate that. And I appreciate that. And I was like, here you go. This get my little egg rolls and get my drink. Thank you. I
Say
appreciate
less.
it. Yeah. But yeah.
Wait,
No, no. But for real, just everyone just be nice. Like I think that's really important too. Just be nice to one another. It's free.
have the day you deserve.
Yes. Thank you again, Aja.
Thank you. Oh my
This
gosh,
is
I had so much fun.
what you guys think of this episode. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe, make sure you do all that stuff. Check out queentalk.com. Make sure you guys go to www.queentalk.com. Check out all the merch. I'm trying to get rid of that merch. So just get it off. Just take it, just go on there and start ordering up some things, please. I'm trying to get some new merch in there. So I'm trying to get this stock in and out. So guys, make sure you guys check that out. But thank you guys for rocking with us. And remember, as always, family, friends, strangers, love and be nice.